Mega or just plain nasty, this drought is something that we need to confront here in Los Angeles, and I'm very proud of Angelenos. Since we collectively as city leadership have asked Angelenos over the last 9 years and over the last couple months to lower their water usage, you have answered the call. Last month in June, we notched a 9% year-over-year reduction, the lowest June ever recorded in terms of our water consumption. And a lot of people from the beginning of the time I was mayor said, you're going to have to ticket people. I was out with some of our DWP water ambassadors who go in neighborhoods and answer about complaints and help people comply. I asked him, how many tickets have you given out? He's like, I never really give out a ticket. We get compliance because we educate people, we help them, and we've been able to reduce people's water usage, reduce their bills, and reduce the impact of the drought. But before I introduce our next action of why we're here today, let me acknowledge some special people who are here with us. First of all, Mitch O'Farrell, whose district we are in, council member. Councilmember Paul Krikorian, two great environmentalists, as well as a third councilmember, Nithya Raman. Thank you to all three of you for your leadership on the city council. And then our great commissioners, we've got a real fan who keeps clapping. You can just keep it coming. Cynthia McLean-Hill, the president of LADWP Board of Commissioners. Susana Reyes, commissioner on the Board of Public Works and former member of the LADWP Board of Commissioners and former employee at LADWP. Barbara Romero, former deputy mayor and the director and general manager of LA Sanitation and Environment, and her entire team at LA Sanitation. And David Petit-John, who is the director of water resources at LADWP, and his entire water and power team. Give them all a round of applause and thank them as well. It's a big cast we have today. LA is no slouch, though, in the creativity department. And these leaders and teams that we've brought together, they brought to bear some of the most innovative conservation programs in the country. In fact, since I became mayor, I was looking at the statistics, we've collectively in Los Angeles, through these programs and the good work of Angelenos, saved enough water to fill almost 1,000 coliseums full of water. Billions and billions of gallons. But today we're here to help you out, to keep your plants alive, to keep our drought response strong, and to reopen 2 recycled water fill stations. Now, one right here at the Los Angeles Glendale Water Reclamation Plant, and the other at the LA Zoo. This is free water for you, for your garden, to keep your plants strong, and to make sure that we serve you. First, all you have to do is show up at the fill station with your own watertight containers. If you don't have some, we'll give you some free ones, these 2-gallon containers. And there's a list of recommended containers, from 5 gallons to 55 gallons, that you can get online at hardware stores. You might already have them before, garden supply stores. We opened up this program first in 2016. It was just 1 day a week. We're now moving to 4 days a week, and we're reopening. And we'll check your container and make sure there's proper labeling. But in your first visit, we just ask you to take a very quick training class. It'll take less than 10 minutes. And then check that off your list, and you can get up to 300 gallons of disinfected, tertiary recycled water per operating day. And now that's a fancy phrase, disinfected, tertiary water, recycled water. So let's do a little pop quiz. Can you drink it? No, you cannot. Can your pets drink it? No, they can't either. Recycled water can be consumed by your plants. Use it to water your trees, your shrubs, your gardens, your lawns, or preferably your drought-tolerant landscaping. And by the way, we still have great programs to help you have a more beautiful garden that uses less water. And every drop of recycled water that you pick up here and use to maintain your landscaping replaces precious drinking water. So in 2016, this helped us save almost 10,000 gallons of potable water. We know we can smash that record, and we plan to. So later this year, LADWP hopes to expand this program to other locations in the San Fernando Valley, so even more landscaping can enjoy the sweet, sweet taste of conservation. We know that Angelenos step up. Today we consume less water than we did 30 years ago with 1 million more residents. And we've gone from 50% of our residential water use going towards landscaping to 35% just in the last 8 years. From 2017, we reduced our water consumption, from 2014 to 2017, we reduced our water consumption by 20%, using over 25 fewer gallons per person per day. And LADWP has close to 20 ways that you can save even more water, from free water-efficient fixtures like shower heads to rebates for that newer washer that you've got your eyes on. And if you're operating on a bigger scale, check out our technical assistance grants, where we can provide now up to $2 million for your business or your large residential building to conserve water in these large buildings. This program isn't new, but we increased that subsidy by a factor of 8 just this year alone. And I'm really proud of our city. I'm really proud of the resilience that we've showed to be able to reduce potable water use per capita by 25% by the year 2035, and to move up our local water use from 15% of our water being generated locally to 70% of it being drawn locally. We're doing that by conserving, by making sure we keep our water. We're making sure that we clean our water, that we capture our water, and soon that we recycle our water even more. This city has saved over 257 billion gallons of water since 2013. I hope that makes it into some story. That's the biggest number I've ever said in a press conference. And let's fill up our buckets, let's fill up our drums with this recycled water so that our children and our grandchildren can fill up their dinner glasses at the tap tomorrow. Next, statewide as well as local environmentalists. He's been honored by so many environmental groups because of the legislation that he has carried, both in Sacramento and here locally, and we're honored to have him. I know he can't wait for one of these stations to open up as well in the Valley, but please welcome and thank Councilmember Paul Krikorian.
Thank you very much, Mayor, and Councilmember O'Farrell, Councilmember Rahman, the members of our boards, our city leaders. Thank you for this day. And I just want to underscore Chairman O'Farrell's thanks to the mayor, first of all, because with humility, the mayor routinely shows up at events like this and reads through a list of statistics, each of which, if you listen to carefully, is an incredible achievement and an incredible legacy of the Garcetti administration that we on the council and our next mayor need to continue forward as we progress. I want to just underscore a couple of those things. This 9% recent savings of water is after we've done every easy thing imaginable over the last 3 decades. This region has dedicated itself to water conservation like no other region in the state of California. And as a result, over the last 30 years, the people of Los Angeles have saved enough water for 1 million people to use. Think about what that means. And yet still, even with that progress, we continue to make more progress. And we must. Because we talk about drought as though drought is just another cyclical thing that we'll go through until the wet years come back. And to some extent, that's true. But folks, we need to start coming to grips with the fact that this is the new normal. And this is not just about a drought for a year or two anymore. With the changing global climate, water scarcity is the new reality that we must all come to grips with. And we have to change the way we do business in Los Angeles. We have to change our own personal habits and continue to improve on our conservation efforts in order to get through this changing era that we're entering. But here's the good news. No water in the world has ever been destroyed, and no water in the world has ever been created. This water that goes into these containers is the same water that was on Earth during the Ice Age. What we don't do is manage water well. It's not a matter of finding new water. It's a matter of managing the water that already exists here. And we're doing, as a society, not the best job of that when we see Lake Mead and Lake Powell and our other reservoirs dropping down to such dangerous levels that our hydroelectric power is in danger. So we all have to continue to do our part to change the way we manage water. And when you consider that maybe it's down to 35%, that's great. It was a majority until not that long ago of the water that we use in Los Angeles is used for landscaping. I represent the San Fernando Valley, the hottest part of the city and the part with the most suburban lawns. And for potable, for water that is fresh water imported to Los Angeles through the Los Angeles Aqueduct to the rest of our systems, that's drawn out from our groundwater to be used to water lawns is nuts. And so this gives us an opportunity. This is the next important step that we need to take as a society to ensure that we can maintain our quality of life in Los Angeles. We can maintain our beautiful landscaping in Los Angeles. We don't have to live in wall-to-wall desert landscaping, but we have to use our water in a smarter way. And we have a steady, sustainable, ever-present supply of water if we simply reclaim it and recycle it and use that water for our landscaping. So that's what today is about, and I couldn't be prouder of the work of the LADWP and the Bureau of Sanitation in getting us to this point. I'm looking forward to taking the next steps, and one of the things I'm going to propose in my district is that we actually look into delivering recycled water and reclaimed water. We have infrastructure because of our low-income development ordinance where people have rain barrels and they have storage capacity in commercial buildings and in residential buildings across Los Angeles. But those storage facilities are dry because it isn't raining. So let's refill them with this water so that people can use that for their landscaping as well. So, Mayor, thank you very much, Mr. O'Farrell, Ms. Rahman, to fellow leaders of Los Angeles. Congratulations on today. Let's move forward to the next step.
Amen. Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Councilmember, and thank you for your kind words. Appreciate them. Next, Nithya Raman, who's our newest of the three council members, but already established herself as a strong environmentalist, working on things like building decarbonization, our clean air, but has really been a good champion on our water conservation, too. We're so pleased that she is here. Please welcome Nithya Raman.
Hello, everyone. How you all doing today? Good. Okay, great. So I am really here as a cheerleader for this work today. I'm here to say thank you because departments had to come together in order to make this effort possible. And I think that's exactly the kind of interdepartmental collaboration we need to see more of as we struggle with some of the biggest challenges that Los Angeles has seen in terms of access to water. I think that this kind of effort, which can bring recycled water to so many communities and saw so much usage in its first rollout, will see even more usage in its new rollout. I'm so pleased that another site just like this one will be opening at the LA Zoo, and people can come in and grab what they need from there. I'm looking forward to this opening at sites across the San Fernando Valley where it's so much hotter and where this water is so much more needed. And I'm also looking forward to working with all of these incredible partners across the city to make sure that as we ask residents in Los Angeles to do more to conserve water, that we also take away some of the pain that they're feeling as they have to achieve those goals. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Council Member. Now I'd like to turn it over to the incomparable president of the all-woman board of the LADWP, because if you want the job to get done, get women to do it. Cynthia McLean-Hill, thank you for your leadership and the entire board's leadership. Come on, step forward and talk about this partnership.
Thank you, Mayor Garcetti. And it's so interesting. I have talking points, none of which are any good now because I have followed our incomparable city leadership, our elected leadership. I do want to begin by saying that leadership does matter. It matters an awful lot. And what brings us here today is the collective vision, first of our mayor, supported by our city council. And for that, we are all extremely grateful. On occasion, it's noted that board leadership, mine and others, I'm joined here today by our DWP new Vice President, Cynthia Ruiz, and by Mia Lair, who's also a board member. We serve without pay. I'm also really excited to be here with Susanna Reyes, the former DWP board Vice President. The reason we serve is because we are inspired. We're inspired to be part of the effort to make Los Angeles stronger and better and to help secure our future. We're inspired by our elected leadership. We're inspired by the efforts of individual citizens who step up and deliver and partner with us to achieve the incredible results that you've been hearing about today. It is nothing short of a miracle that collectively we have continued to conserve and to lower our use of water. I'm also here, though, because it's not just vision and it's not just policy. It's what happens every day on the ground, the little incremental things that we do that knit it all together and make it real. The partnership between LADWP and LA San is part of that work on the ground. And I want to say thank you to LA San and a shout out to Barbara Romero and the entire LA San family. I'm here representing LADWP, and the people at LADWP are incredibly hardworking and incredibly talented. In addition to promoting water conservation, we're here to help. Take advantage of the programs that we offer to help transition your green lawns to more California-friendly landscape. It's beautiful. The more that people do it, the more they're coming to understand that it's not incompatible to use drought-tolerant landscape and to have a beautiful lawn oasis. I'm also here today to not just promote the use of this recycled water in place of our drinking water for landscape, but also to underscore how important, critically important it is that we continue to take care of our trees all across the city. It's been mentioned that the valley's among the hottest regions in the city. The fact of the matter is we're not just facing drought, we're also facing extreme heat. And protecting our trees and investing in that infrastructure is critical to meeting that challenge together. Climate change is multifaceted. All of our efforts are interrelated. And thank you, Councilmember Kokorian, for talking about the future, for talking about using our infrastructure to deliver, not just to have people come out, but to take it to our residents so that they can make better use of what we have to offer. But also, we're just getting started. LADWP and LA San have a remarkable partnership that's looking not just at today and tomorrow, but at the next 100 years. And the next 100 years is about capture, cleaning, and reusing our water. It is about water management. And through Operation Next, we'll be able to deliver on a future that has most of our water supply local. So we are facing a challenge, but a challenge that we can and will meet with great leadership and with the great efforts of the residents of the city of LA. Thank you very much for allowing me to be here today. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Madam President, and thank you for those shouts out to our departments. I also want to single out one of our most important people, is Tracy Minamide, who is our Chief Operating Officer at LA Sanitation. He's going to be responsible for a lot of amazing recycling, and thank you for your great leadership, too. Finally, I'd like to ask Susana Reyes, who, as I mentioned, worked at DWP, served on the DWP board. Now she's over at the Board of Public Works, really cementing this partnership, and nobody embodies that bridge better than her dear friend, amazing environmentalist, Susana Reyes.
Thank you, everyone. Good morning. I would like to thank everyone for being here today, bright and early. I would like to also thank the LA Sanitation and Environment leaders that we have here, Barbara Romero, our general manager for LA San, Tracy, that the mayor mentioned. We have Fernando here, who also manages both this reclamation plant and the Tillman. As the newest board member of the Board of Public Works, I have been traveling and visiting our reclamation plants, and I'm getting used to that smell already. So, but here's what I learned, is that we only have one water. We're talking about one water. And water is really the next big topic that our city has to combat the challenges that it is facing right now. So, I am thrilled to be here as we reopen the LA Glendale Recycled Water Fill Station to our Los Angeles residents, because projects like this highlight how so much is possible through partnership and collaboration. The LA Sanitation and Environment operates the 4 water reclamation plants with a combined capacity of 580 million gallons of recycled water per day. And recycled water, as you've already heard, can be used in place of potable water for industrial, landscape, and recreational purposes, in addition to other beneficial uses, including groundwater replenishment. So that recycled water is precious, and it's more precious really than potable water. And recycled water decreases the demand for potable water that is imported into the LA area, which is more expensive. And at a time when we face one of the most severe droughts in recent history, using recycled is a conservation must. Recycled water helps promote conservation by offsetting the demand for our precious drinking water. So tackling this big intersectional issue like climate change takes transformational approaches. So working in silos is not an adequate response to what is an active, ongoing threat to our environment. And that's why I value this partnership so much. Working together with our partner, the LA Department of Water and Power, we will continue to innovate as we face new challenges. We applaud the leadership of Mayor Eric Garcetti, who has been committed to making LA a greener, more sustainable city. And thank you as well to the City Council, including Council members Rahman, O'Farrell, and Krikorian, who are here with us today. Thank you. Your offices have helped shape the policies that bring us here today. The Board of Public Works remains focused on strengthening our partnerships across the city and creating opportunities for new collaborations that ensure city services and infrastructure investments are relevant to every neighborhood's needs. So let's take advantage of this program that we just reopened. Take the water, water your lawns, but don't drink it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Reyes. And I don't know what you're talking about with that smell. I think it was Francis Ford Coppola who once wrote, "I love the smell of sewage in the morning." Anyway, smells like victory, exactly. ¿En español? Anybody? Okay. Ya llevamos 3 años en esta gran sequía y los niveles de agua en nuestras instalaciones continúan estando por debajo del promedio. Los Ángeles han enfrentado esta sequía con ingenio. El mes pasado, en junio, registramos una reducción de 9% en consumo de agua comparado al año previo. Y hoy estamos aquí para reabrir 2 estaciones de llenado de agua reciclada. Así es como funciona. Primero se presenta en la estación de llenado con sus propios contenedores, como esto, de agua. Si es su primera visita, tendrá que tomar un clase de entrenamiento de 10 minutos, no más, y después puede obtener hasta 300 galones de agua reciclada, desinfectada por día. No puede beber este agua ni dársela a sus mascotas. El agua reciclada es solo para sus plantas y jardines. Cada gota de agua reciclada que use para su jardín reemplaza el agua potable que necesitamos para beber. Y así que a llenar sus cubetas para que nuestros hijos y nietas tengan suficiente agua en el futuro.